Okay, so we're starting off here in the grip fight. So you can see here, Ricky gets a hold of my lapel, and my left hand, often when they get the lapel, I like to get this like grip behind their tricep because it makes it a lot easier to pull their elbow out for the triangle. So I set my left foot to the hip here, and now my right hand is starting to look for the cross collar grip. I have the left foot on the hip here. I'm going to look to get this right foot in the bicep. Here he's holding my ankle, so now I'm just going to use my left foot on the hip to elevate my hip, and that'll allow me to shoot my right leg over top for the triangle right there. Boom. And also when you go for that triangle from the collar sleeve or collar tricep, you get good posture control as well, so it's easy to finish. So I finish with the armbar. Same thing, I'm doing the tricep grip again here. I'm looking for a second sleeve. I'm using my legs here with either like butterfly hooks or foot on the shin to kind of maintain distance to help set the foot on the hip. So there again, you get a better angle at I set the foot on the hip. So he tries to posture a lot and loop his arm out, and then he drops into like this one knee up position. And this makes it harder to go for that triangle omoplata because he's protecting it, but also it makes it easier to set the De La Riva hook. So there I go to set the De La Riva hook. I have the collar grip and I've switched to the ankle. Now I have this really deep De La Riva hook. Often when you threaten the collar sleeve omoplata triangle, it's a lot easier to set a really strong De La Riva hook because they're defending so hard on the omoplata by keeping their elbow knee tight that they set the hook good. So now I get the strong hook. So here I was starting to go for a bolo, but I just kind of felt the angle was off. So this is a very easy transition to a sweep that's good to use, especially if you don't like to do the actual bolo a lot. You just switch to this cross pant grip and you just come up really quick here and go for the finish. All right, so we're going grip fighting again. I'm looking for the lapel. Again, he comes in for that lapel grip and I just catch the tricep here. There, I snake that foot on the bicep. He drops his knee. He gets his leg really close, which makes it hard to set this De La Riva hook. So here I like to use this right knee shield to create separation, as well as pushing with the palm or with my collar grip here into his neck allows me to set some distance. And then now, depending on how he responds, my left leg can either go to a De La Riva hook, or in this case, he has his knee open, so my leg's going to come inside more to a Keymaster hook position, right? So if this guy's right foot is turned inward more, then my leg could have gone outside to chase the De La Riva hook. But since this right foot was pointed outward more, it's hard to chase that De La Riva hook, so I get this inside position. From here, I have this, and if you watch my crossguard video, it's the same kind of series I did from crossguard, where I try to use that far leg to get the butterfly hook there, and then it makes it really easy so that when I switch back center underneath, that I can forward bump him here. So when I forward bump him, there's a few different options you can go for from here. You're going to see them throughout the video of what I do. So here, I would like to go for the ankle lock maybe, but I felt like his knee was a little bit close. It was hard to get to. So instead, I just feed that foot to my right hand grip. And then now I start kind of getting this X hook position and grab the hip. From here, I can elevate him almost over my head with these hooks, and that's going to force him to post his hand on the floor. And then now it's really easy to kind of push him out and go for the back here. Here, I start to go for a crab ride there, and I would go for another crab roll, but the way he responds just kind of exposes me coming up on top. So that's one of the big things when you do crab ride is you have to just come up. A lot of times people want the really pretty back take finish with the twister hook or like the crab roll, but a lot of times you just need to come up on top. And if you don't threaten that enough, guys won't give you the response to do the crab roll. Okay, so we're grip fighting again. This time, Ricky's keeping his right arm hidden more, so now I go for a lapel with the left hand, and my right hand already has the sleeve grip. So I fall back to a lasso with the left foot to kind of create space. My right leg is kind of lassoed as well. I'm looking for double sleeve, so now I set double sleeve. I push his hip out to create some distance. I get a strong De La Riva hook here. There, I probably would have looked for the backwards off balance sweep or an overhead sweep if you've seen my double sleeve stuff before, but he drops to one knee up, so I kind of feel like it's easy to go for a single leg guard here. Notice how deep I get. I go like elbow deep behind the knee here to get a really good grip on the single leg. So here he kind of tries to pull away. Let me rewind that just a little bit. Right, when I go for the sit-up guard here, he tries to pull away as I go for that sleeve, which makes it hard to grip. But this makes it way easier to just come up into the single leg. And this is a great thing. Anytime you do a single leg guard sweep, as soon as you come up, you can go straight into this folding pass. So notice I kind of catch his leg to the side, which is pretty easy when you have that single leg grip. And now I kind of drive my chest. You can't see it, but I'm trying to drive my chest towards his chest, and he's trying to frame here. And it makes it super heavy on his leg, so he can't open up. It's like it's like closing a book. Right? And then from here, I kind of adjust depending on how they respond. In this case, I end up coming up to a crossface and I finished in mount there. All right, so here, let me rewind a little bit. This is something I do if the guy, you couldn't see before this, but if the guy's being really grip breaky and difficult, sometimes I like to fall to my back and try to butterfly hook their leg to pull their pant in so I can get a grip on their pants. In this case, I missed it. He starts to grab my leg. I use that to go for the sleeve. Again, I get that low forearm grip. Sometimes grabbing the cuff of the sleeve is hard, so that low forearm grip is an easy starting grip, right? And then sometimes I'll change it later. So you'll see you kind of missed it. I'll play it again. You see I got that low cuff grip. It's like almost like a judo grip where you grab like low under the forearm here, right? And then as he sets the position, now you can see my left hand switches and goes to grabbing like the spider hook style cuff grip, right? So I set my foot in the bicep. I got the foot on the hip. I'm trying to find space for that triangle. If he keeps his elbow and knee tight, I'm probably going to switch to the hook. I get that hook and I kind of adjust my body weight out. I off balance him and now I can set the omoplata. Here I just keep re-rolling. A lot of people think of the omoplata as like, you know, it's a sweeping position, but if you get really good at the finish, you can keep re-chasing it and get the finish. Okay, again, I use the collar grip to threaten an attack. He breaks it and gives me the sleeve grip. Now I'm back in again. Similar game here. I'm setting the distance out. I get that hook strong. I go for the omoplata here. And this is one of my favorite omoplata finishes I learned from Cobrinha. But whenever you come up for this omoplata here, often when you come up on top here, guys will try to grab this leg and stiff arm it off because it's really heavy when you sit on them. And that exposes the elbow grip for your right arm, and you can pull that in. And now I got this really nice armbar right there. Right, again, we're looking for the sleeve. Later on, Ricky starts hiding the sleeves more and I do different setups. So now we got the collar sleeve De La Riva hook. He traps the leg, so now I'm going to probably switch to a deep lasso here, which is something I like more recently when they trap my leg. He's trying to loop out, but when you have that really deep lasso, especially when you grab it when they're low, it's super hard, right? So here I want him, if he stands up, I'm looking for an attack where if he stands up on this leg, I can kind of lift my hip with my right foot and yank that heel out and I'll sweep him. But he stays down because he kind of knows I'm doing that, so I like to use this deep lasso De La Riva hook here to kind of set him out to the side. So I've recently started experimenting with this and I like it a lot. As well as when you go here, it's a really easy way to set up a crab ride. So when he drops, I just set that right crab hook in and now I'm already coming up on top. And again, here I would like to do the re-roll for the crab ride, but the way Ricky responds here is he just kind of like he exposes the pass, so I can't take it. If he opened his right leg up really high and turned back into me, I would roll. But here instead, I just come around to the side and take the pass. It would probably work for the back from there. Okay, again, now I'm working more on the collars. I get the triceps, set the foot on the hip. Here, going for the triangle again. Yeah, when you get that tricep grip and the foot on the hip, it's really hard to stop that triangle if you know how to lift your hip up and go for it. So I'm always threatening that, and that sets up a lot of my other attacks. Again, I set the foot on the hip. See, and he has to address the foot on the hip. Like the foot on the hip as your starting attack is so powerful because the guy has to get his elbow and knee tight, right? So now he goes here. Again, he traps the leg. I set this deep lasso again. Here, I was looking for that ankle. Now I switch up to the homolo guard and I use a quick invert here. And now I can start working to the back. I turn this into a crab ride, get a nice lift, and go for the finish. Let's look at that one more time. Here, he goes to trap the leg. I use that to set up my deep lasso. I switch to the far lapel grip. So there I'm looking for double sleeve. A lot of times guys will hide that sleeve grip, which makes it easier to control the ankle. So now once I set him out really far, I have that far lapel. I just unlasso and I put my left foot in the bicep, and it makes it really powerful to spin under with the homolo guard. This is actually a sequence that Mergali used when he fought Gustavo Batista. He ended up sweeping him with it. So it goes here, he inverts through, or I invert through in this case. We come up here, get the crab ride, and now I just get a nice invert there to take the back. All right, so again, here we got the sleeve grip here. I got the lapel grip with my right hand. I snake that foot on the hip, a common trend. Once I get that foot on the hip, it makes it way harder for the guy to keep this leg kill because as he pushes it down, I counter push with my left foot and it allows me to keep getting my right foot back into the play. So now here he kind of comes in with his left leg, crowding out my leg, so I just use the knee shield. And this is a great time to actually use kind of a Keymaster off balance that Tommy Langaker uses a lot. I'm just doing a slight modification where I do it with the same side lapel instead of the cross collar. So as I bump him forward here, now I get this nice position just that I did before where I did that X hook invert to the back, and I can go for an ankle lock here. So this time I get a good grip on the foot, and now I'm going to belly down over on this, and I already got the good angle, and I get the finish there. All right, so in this sequence, you can see here I'm already looking for the belt. So now Ricky's being more difficult with the sleeve grips, and he's denying the collar grip, so he's staying up really high. A lot of times I like to use the belt. If the belt's off, then I'll actually grab like the hip or pant grip. But when the belt's on, it's easier to just grab the belt because the pant grip isn't exposed because the gi's covering it. So here I'm looking for this, I can't get it. So now he goes up, I catch that belt grip. So I'm going to use this knee shield, my elbow on the floor to kind of hop out to the side here like this, and it makes it really, see, I'm already starting to spin around before I even set my hook. Now here I can set this hook and I go straight into the bolo. I set the crab ride and I get the lift and come straight up to the back. Okay, so we're in the grip fight again here. I'm starting to look for the low lapel. So sometimes when the guy's denying the high lapel or the sleeves or even the belt, you can go for like a low lapel grip to set up some kind of like worm or lapel system. So I think I just end up faking that, and I end up pulling into this knee shield position, which I like to do a lot. So he tries to jump around. I set my Keymaster hook here. I go for the tricep grip, which I can often use to go back to that like collar tricep grip. So I kind of use the knee shield to set out some space. I'm trying to set my De La Riva hook. He tries to do a back step, but because I have so much distance with that knee shield, it's very easy to block it and work underneath. We can look at that one more time. So we're here. I have that knee shield. I've got all this distance. So then, yeah, with that shield there, when he tries to back step, you just have so much space with that knee shield there. I can push him off and set this hook underneath. So now I go here, and before I did that X hook back take, and then I did the ankle lock. So in this one, I start to go for the ankle lock, and he's going to grab my lapel. So then what I do is when he grabs my lapel, I'm going to use this to go back to that tricep grip, and I've already got that foot set on the hip. So that's the thing, when you have that kind of Keymaster or X hook position, is when you're underneath, it's like an X guard hook. But when you back out, the foot is on the hip. So now my foot is on his hip here. So now it's really easy when I release this to just shoot straight up for that triangle again. I lift with the foot on the hip, boom, and I'm deep in the triangle, and I finish with the armbar there. All right, guys, I'm going to save the rest of this video for another breakdown with narration because this one ended up being a little bit longer than I expected. If you guys like this content, please comment and like and let me know. Let me know if there's any details or any things that happened in the match as well that you guys like to see broken down in future videos and other narrations or actual technique breakdowns. All right, guys, thanks a lot.